Okay, we're live.
Please rise as you are able. I now call this meeting of City Council to order.
We acknowledge that this meeting is taking place on the traditional land of the Anishinaabe people. The Anishinaabe include the Odawa, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi nations, collectively known as the Three Fires Confederacy. We're dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture and committed to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect with all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. You may be seated. Welcome everyone to this virtual meeting of Barrie City Council. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, City Council is continuing to practice physical distancing with members of Council and the executive management team participating via video conference. Members of the senior leadership team that have items on tonight's agenda are not visible, but available to answer any questions. We have a somewhat brief agenda tonight. The first item is the confirmation of the minutes. The minutes of the City Council meeting held on April 26th, 2021 have been circulated. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, minutes are adopted as printed and circulated. As we have no awards and recognition, deputations, reports of officers, or communication or tax application matters, it brings us all the way to the committee reports. Deputy Mayor Ward, I believe you have the motions.
Thank you, Mayor Lehman. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section A of the Planning Committee report dated April 27, 2021 is circulated be adopted.
Thank you. It's moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section A of the Planning Committee report dated April 27, 2021 is circulated be adopted. This is to adopt a zoning bylaw amendment application for 932 Mapleview Drive East in Ward 10. Comments or questions? Seeing none, those in favor, please indicate. Any opposed? None. That carries. Section B, please.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section B of the Planning Committee report dated April 27, 2021 is circulated be received.
It's moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section B of the Planning Committee report dated April 27, 2021 is circulated be received. This is to receive the report from the public meeting that was conducted regarding 217 Dunlop Street East. It's an application for zoning bylaw amendment submitted by Mitchison Planning and Development Consultants on behalf of PBM Realty Holdings, Inc. To receive the report of the public meeting, comments or questions? Seeing none, those in favor of Section B, please. None opposed, that carries unanimously. Can we have the general committee report from May 3rd last week, Deputy Mayor Ward?
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section A of the General Committee report dated May 3rd, 2021 is circulated be received.
It's moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section A of the General Committee report dated May 3rd, 2021 is circulated be received. This is to receive the report of the Finance and Corporate Services Committee that was held back on April 20th and the consent items from the committee as well. Comments or questions? Seeing none, those in favor of Section A, please. Any opposed? None? That carries. Section B, please.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section B of the General Committee report dated May 3rd, 2021 is circulated be adopted.
Thank you. It's moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section B of the General Committee report dated May 3rd, 2021, as circulated, be adopted. These were the consent items from General Committee. Investigation of the maintenance of pedestrian walkways, 2021 debt issuance scenarios, water bill support program for low-income households and small businesses, investigation in terms of reference for an arts advisory committee, pedestrianization of Dunlop Street through Open Air Dunlop 2021, partnership with Living Green Barrie, extension of the program for residents supporting local restaurants and parking through waiving parking tickets, and the Downtown Barrie BIA Board of Directors appointments. Councillor Harvey, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have an amendment in regards to the parking ticket initiative.
Sure, go ahead.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that motion 21-G-110 of Section B of the General Committee report dated May 3rd, 2021 be amended by adding the following paragraph. That in order to promote the program, staff and enforcement services provide a flyer with details of the program when issuing a parking ticket.
Okay, it is moved by Councillor Harvey, and I have the amendment here. Yep, moved by Councillor Harvey, seconded by Councillor Thompson. Motion 21-G-110 of Section B of the General Committee report dated May 3rd be amended by adding the following paragraph. That in order to promote the program, staff and enforcement services provide a flyer with details of the program when issuing a parking ticket. Councillor Harvey, did you wish to speak to that?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Just briefly, with further discussion with staff through the week, in an attempt to try and promote this program a little bit better, to get a little greater uptick with it. This was one option that we discussed, so that way everybody receiving a parking ticket that would be eligible would be also getting a notice advising them that of this program and the ability of having the ticket quashed.
Okay, thanks very much, Councillor Harvey. Any comments on the amendment? Okay, seeing none, I'll call the question. Those in favor of the amendment? Are any opposed to the amendment? None. That carries. On Section G, or Section B as amended, any further comments or questions? Councillor Kungle.
Yes, thank you. I had a question for clarification for staff. With respect to pedestrian walkways, would staff be able to clarify what's included or how we're defining walkways for that reference? Getting some questions about what might be in and out of scope, and if that's catwalks, informal or formal walkways, or if there's a particular definition.
Thanks for that. I'll go to Ms. Miller.
Through you, Mayor Lehman, to Councillor Kungle. At this time, we'll be looking at our formalized walkways and catwalks at this point in time, and we wouldn't be looking at anything that we would you would characterize as informal paths or walkways.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. That's great. No further questions.
Okay, thanks, Councillor Kungle. Any other comments or questions on Section B as amended? Seeing none, I'll call the question. Those in favor of Section B as amended? None opposed. That carries. Thank you very much. Section C, please.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section C of the General Committee report dated May 3rd, 2021 is circulated to be received.
Thank you. It's moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section C of the General Committee report dated May 3rd, 2021 is circulated to be received. This is the proposed development charge bylaw and underlying background study. It's the report of the public meeting to be received. Comments or questions on Section C? Seeing none, those in favor, please indicate. Any opposed? None. That carries. Section D, please.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section D of the General Committee report dated May 3rd, 2021 is circulated to be adopted.
Thank you. It's moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section D of the General Committee report dated May 3rd, 2021 is circulated to be adopted. This is the Investment Management Annual Report. Comments or questions on Section D? Seeing none. Those in favor, please indicate. Is anyone opposed? None. That carries. Section E, please.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section E of the General Committee report dated May 3rd, 2021 is circulated to be adopted.
Thank you. It's moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section E of the General Committee Report dated May 3rd, 2021 as circulated be adopted. This is with regards to business licenses for absentee landlords. Comments or questions? Seeing none, I'll call the question on this. Those in favor of Section E? Is anyone opposed? None. That carries unanimously. Section F, please.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section F of the General Committee Report dated May 3rd, 2021 as circulated be adopted.
Thank you. It's moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section F of the General Committee Report dated May 3rd, 2021 as circulated be adopted. This is the naming and recognition of Dale Howarchuk. Any comments or questions on Section F? I just wanted to note as we got to, oh, sorry, go ahead, Jim. Councillor Harris.
Thank you, Mayor Lehman. It was just a point of clarification. You might have been getting there yourself. So I had some people asking about, this is not the road. This is verifying staff. So maybe that was your question. I'll let you finish maybe your question. Thank you for checking.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to note that it's not the section of Bayview Drive in front of the BMC. That has been reported and of course is not correct. It's the entrance road into the BMC on the BMC property. So we will not be renaming that section of Bayview Drive, notwithstanding the BMC is the only thing on it. That's not the proposal. It's to name the entrance road, and the signage will go there. So with that, any other comments or questions on Section F? Okay, seeing none, those in favor? Any opposed? None. We have named Dale Howarchuk Way. Section G, please.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section G of the General Committee Report dated May 3rd, 2021 as circulated be adopted.
Thank you. It's moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section G of the General Committee Report dated May 3rd as circulated be adopted. This is the request for a presentation from the Downtown Barrie BIA. Comments or questions? Seeing none. Those in favor of Section G? Anybody opposed? None. That carries. Section H, please.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section H of the General Committee Report dated May 3rd, 2021 as circulated be adopted.
Thank you. It's moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section H of the General Committee Report dated May 3rd as circulated be adopted. This is the item regarding the request for stop signs for the duration of the provincial COVID-19 framework. Any comments or questions on this? Okay, seeing none, those in favor of Section H, please indicate. None opposed, that carries unanimously. Section I, please.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section I of the General Committee Report dated May 3rd, 2021 as circulated be received.
Thank you. It's moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section I of the General Committee Report dated May 3rd, 2021 as circulated be received. This was the report on the confidential potential disposition of land matter on Simcoe Street. Comments or questions? Seeing none, those in favor of receiving Section I? Any opposed? None. That carries. And finally, Section J, please.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that Section J of the General Committee Report dated May 3rd, 2021 as circulated be adopted.
Thank you. It is moved by Deputy Mayor Ward and seconded by Councillor Thompson that Section J of the General Committee Report dated May 3rd, 2021 as circulated be adopted. This is to adopt the direction regarding the potential disposition of land matter on Simcoe Street. Comments or questions? Seeing none, call the question. Those in favor of Section J? Any opposed? None. That carries unanimously as well, and that completes the committee reports. Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Ward. For those watching, I know this can sound like rapid fire alphabet soup. Each of the sections of the General Committee report contain motions that were passed and debated earlier at Planning Committee and General Committee of Council, and tonight, in fact, debated even before that at Finance Committee before General. So notwithstanding, there may be nights like this where Council approves the matters in front of it with little or no debate. It's because these matters have been to at least one meeting for discussion already, and usually more, because they have either come up through the reference committees or been discussed in the staff report or an advisory committee or something like that. So Council's given final approval tonight to a number of items from last week, all of the items from last week, and we can now move on to inquiries, believe it or not. Deputy Mayor Ward, do you have any inquiries of staff? Members of Council, do you have any inquiries of staff? Councillor Kungle.
Thank you, Your Worship. Through you to staff. I'm not sure if staff can speak to this at this time, but as we're approaching gardening season and we're having lots of conversations around food security, the question around status of the backyard chickens has been coming up through some of our committees and through resident forums online. I wasn't sure if staff could speak generally to whether or not we would see that deferred item coming back before the summer break, or if there was a general timeline if you didn't have a specific next step that you could forecast. Don't want to put you on the spot too much, but didn't know if we would see it before the summer break.
I think now that raises the question where backyard chickens land corporately. And I'm pretty sure that's in enforcement. So I'm going to pass that over to Ms. McAlpine, and she's going to correct me if I got that wrong.
Mayor Lehman, thank you for the question. The enforcement of the animal control bylaw is definitely in community and corporate services. Staff have previously reported back on this matter and have not recommended proceeding, and council took no action with respect to that at a previous time.
Follow up, if I may. I believe we left off on that coming back without recommending it, but noted that really as an example wasn't included as an example, and they had since expanded and extended their pilot, and we actually referred it back to staff to see if they could include other local examples. My understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, or if we come back to a future meeting to check on the status of that, because I thought it was in motion to return to discussion.
I see Miss Miller on the line, and I think that's from a zoning perspective that she was seeking to respond.
Through you, Mayor Lehman, to Councillor Kungl, you are correct. You did ask us to take a look at this from a zoning perspective, and we indicated that we would look at that as a part of the update to the comprehensive zoning bylaw. So when that comes back next year, we will certainly tackle it at that time, but we were not intending to do anything from a zoning perspective before that.
I'll take it offline and see if there's a best next step around bringing that conversation back to the table, if anything can be done in advance of next year, and invite staff to provide any advice you might have in the meantime to me directly.
Sorry, it's very 2020 of me. Other inquiries of staff, members of council? Okay, seeing none, I will move to announcements. Deputy Mayor Ward, do you have any announcements?
I do have an announcement, and I think it's okay to announce what's happening with the Ann Street Bridge. We were notified late this afternoon about what was happening. I'll just read out part of the staff notification on it. It says preparation for the closure and ultimate demolition of the existing Ann Street Bridge at Highway 400. We've been notified by Dufferin and the MTO contract administrator that the Ann Street will be closed from Edge Hill Drive to Donald Street the night of Saturday, May 29th this year. And the bridge will be demolished the following weekend, overnight on Saturday, June 5th. Notification and detour signage will be installed this week to give motorists ample warning of the pending closures. The city's project website will include additional details of the traffic and transit detours. The transit detours will be phased in once Ann Street is closed, with a free pedestrian transit shuttle starting. That's going to have stops at the foot of the Ann Street Hill and over at the Wellington Plaza. So the free pedestrian transit will start the morning of Sunday, May 30th, and final transit detour routes will be placed on the morning of Sunday, June 6th, until Ann Street is reopened in the fall of 2022. All transit route changes will be posted at the bus stops and on the city website. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Deputy Mayor Ward. I saw several signs. I think Councillor Aylwin, did I see you?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Lehman. Just a quick announcement and a thank you. So the Active Transportation and Sustainability Committee Advisory Committee, we met last week and had a very productive meeting, and we were informed by Brent Greatrix that the Active Transportation webpage on the city's website has been updated. It hadn't been updated in quite a while, and there are some fantastic resources on that page, both for walking and cycling. And as we come into the summer months, I want to see people out there on their bikes, out enjoying our beautiful city, walking around on the trails that are available to us. So people can find the link to that website, that web page, through my website, keenan.ca. It's an easier way to get there than a long URL. And so I want to thank staff in Access Barrie, as well as IT, and also Councillor Kungle, who solicited the feedback from our committee and compiled it for the changes. So thank you all, and hope you can check it out on my website, keenan.ca. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor Owen. Councillor Natalie Harris.
Thank you, Mayor Lehman. I just want to share that tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, there's a public meeting for with respect to 189 Somerset Drive in Ward 6. You can go to barrie.ca to find out more information. And if you want to register in advance, you can email for comments. You can email cityclerks@barrie.ca or call 705-739-4220 extension 5500. When in doubt, if all that sounded like gibberish, you can email me, natalie.harris@barrie.ca. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Councillor Harris. Councillor Morales.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Lehman. There's a neighborhood meeting this Wednesday, Wednesday, May 12th at 5 p.m. on Zoom for 378 Big Bay Point Road in Ward 9. So for those unfamiliar with the address, that's the former daycare site building, just east of Loon and west of Ward Drive. So that's 5 p.m. on Zoom. Anybody interested in attending the neighborhood meeting, seeing I believe right now the applicant is proposing 28 towns off Big Bay Point. If anybody's interested, the Zoom link you need to register to get it. You can get it off the City of Barrie website or my Councillor Facebook page. And again, that's this Wednesday, 5 p.m. for the neighborhood meeting.
Thank you very much, Councillor Morales. Councillor Kungle.
Thank you, Worship. I'm not sure if this might fall into your announcements, but I had a personal one about Nurses Week. And so while there's so many amazing individuals at the front lines in different capacities, I've had the privilege of being introduced to some of our nurses directly at the vaccine clinics, and want to do a shout out to all of those that have supported the logistics and operations of our COVID-19 vaccine clinics in the region. Thank you for all you're doing. Happy Nurses Week. And just wanting to take a moment to appreciate you, and hopefully that spreads across this week.
Thanks very much for that, Councillor Kungle. Other announcements, Councillor McCann.
Thank you, Mayor Lehman. I am very pleased to announce that this is Ward 10's first virtual meeting through this pandemic. I would like to cordially invite all of City Council to the Ward 10 meeting. It'll be on the 19th of this month at 7 a.m. And Councilor Morales, it would be great if you were there, just because some of the issues that Ward 10 residents have do spill over into your ward. This is an ask and a want, if you're available, great. We have some special guests. The number one guest we have is our Mayor Lehman. We've also got a special guest as the CEO Prowse. In the town hall meeting, I've actually got a regiment to discuss many different issues, as Ward 10 is a diverse ward. And I'm asking and inviting all Ward 10 residents and the whole city of Barrie to register your questions, because we only have an hour, and there is many different issues in Ward 10. The theme of the meeting is going to be, this is your city, this is your money, this is your community. Let's find a better way together. And in the meeting, we'll be talking about how this council has, in the past 20 years, had the lowest tax in the past 20 years, talking about road safety, talking about the new high school. Mayor Lehman, this is quick. Do you have any dramatic music? No? Okay. Well, we will be announcing the new high school name. We also be talking about the recreation and parks, and I will be putting a new entity into all of my future Zoom meetings, where it'll be motivational and inspirational. So you can register to go on the Zoom. You can also register your questions at my Facebook page. Mike McCann loves Barrie. Sorry, Councilor Harvey, you want to repeat that? Mike McCann loves Barrie. So please register. I'll be announcing this one more time next week. We'll be having a mail out sometime next week. And I hope all will come. All will be enthusiastic because we're building the greatest city in Canada. Thank you.
Thanks, Councilor McCann. Other announcements, members of council? Okay, seeing none, I have a few. Okay, the City of Barrie has released draft 2 of the city's new official plan. Speaking of the future of the city, this is the document that sets it. We're welcoming public feedback and engagement over the next month. Residents are encouraged to view the draft of the plan, share their comments. There are public engagement events scheduled as follows. There's a virtual open house on Wednesday, May the 19th as well. To register in advance, it's buildingbarrie.ca/official plan. That starts at 4 p.m. There's a public meeting at the Planning Committee meeting on June 2nd at 6 p.m. Members of the public who are wishing to make oral comments can register in advance by emailing cityclerks@barrie.ca. You can also submit your comments in writing by email to a dedicated address. That's new.barrieop@barrie.ca no later than June 2nd. Or of course, anything you send us by mail, we do receive good old paper as well, sent to City Hall. Any comments submitted in writing by June 2nd can be considered as part of the public meeting, can also be made verbally at the public meeting. After the public consultation is complete, staff will make necessary updates to the document and prepare the new official plan for release, which is scheduled for fall 2021. For any further information, how to provide feedback, view the documents, and so forth, please visit buildingbarrie.ca/official plan. A note, I've been asked by the fire department to note that if you are interested in having a backyard fire right now, you do need that bird permit for valid for the current year. You can visit barrie.ca/burn permits to apply for a backyard burning permit. City is also hosting an online rain barrel sale. You can order a rain barrel up until May 21st, 2021. They're $70 and they're available at barrie.ca/water conservation. And yes, I believe they are delivered if I am not mistaken. Registration is available right now for modified summer day camp offerings in terms of children. This is for children aged 6 to 12. Visit barrie.ca/day camps, or you can register at play.barrie.ca. We're also inviting citizens who are interested in being part of the Council Compensation Review Committee. The applications will be received until Friday. That is at barrie.ca/committee vacancies. And a reminder of what we approved tonight, an extension during the local provincial stay-at-home order. Residents who receive a parking ticket from the City of Barrie can have their ticket canceled if they provide proof of purchase from a Barrie-based restaurant in an amount equal to or greater than the set fine within 5 days after receiving the tickets. All parking tickets and restaurant receipts can be emailed to enforcement.services@barrie.ca to request the cancellation. Just a final note on vaccines. With the increased supply that we're now seeing, the eligibility criteria are opening up very quickly. We continue to get questions every single day through all our channels around this. Of course, the single and reliable source for all information about how and where to get vaccines in Simcoe Muskoka is the Health Unit's website, simcoemuskokahealth.org. But you can also check Ontario's website for the eligibility criteria. And as I mentioned last week, there are new channels to help you find vaccines in pharmacies, including a text message service. And the Health Unit has a standby list. And they wanted to note that the standby list is now going to be open at 8 o'clock, not 7 o'clock as previously. But that standby list is for people who are available to get a vaccine late in the day if there is a cancellation, and there are usually cancellations or missed appointments. So if you go on that standby list and you're eligible, you may be able to get a same-day vaccine. And anyway, as always, it's the health unit's website to get the information. Everybody go out and get their vaccines. That is what is going to bring this to an end sooner than anything else that we can all do together. Okay, with that, I will ask for the bylaws, Deputy Mayor Ward.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that leave be granted to introduce the following bills, and these bills be read a first, second, and third time and stay and finally passed. Bills 43, 44, 45, and 46.
Thank you. It is moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that leave be granted to introduce the following bills, and these bills be read a first, second, and third time this day and finally passed. Bill 43, 44, 45, and 46. Comments or questions? Seeing none, those in favor of the bylaws? Or any opposed? None. That carries. Just before you move the confirmation bylaw, Deputy Mayor Ward, Councillor Morales, you had a correction to the date of a meeting. I wanted to make sure you got that out on the announcements.
Thank you, Mayor Lehman. I didn't want to cut you off. I know that the chair speaks last. It's Thursday, May 13th, just not Wednesday. I got the date right, just the alphabetical date wrong. So that's Thursday, 5 p.m. And I will make sure that's clear online. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Deputy Mayor Ward, the confirmation bylaw, please.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that leave be granted to introduce the following bill, and this bill be read a first, second, and third time this day and finally passed. Bill 47.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Ward, seconded by Councillor Thompson, that leave be granted to introduce the following bill, and this bill be read a first, second, and third time this day and finally passed. Bill 47, the confirmation bylaw. Comments or questions? Seeing none, those in favor? Any opposed? None. That carries. Can I have a motion to adjourn City Council? Councillor McCann, seconded by Councillor Thompson. We are adjourned, and we will see you tomorrow night for Planning Committee. Thanks, everyone. Good night.